Hey, what's going on with it once again, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, fanboys and fangirls, especially is the one and only, of course, Mr. Criticism Guy 2009, aka Nintendo Soda Free 2011, and of course, Nintendo Anime Manga 360. So, long story short, it's the third and final little mini series I wanted to do about the Flesh Pound. Let me back up a little bit just in case you guys can't see me. So, without further ado on that, let's begin. So, the Flesh Pound versus, again, not going to get too much into his detail, versus this other one is called, I think it's Nemesis in the Resident Evil thing, I guess, I don't know, but I guess he's in the Silent Hill game more than he was in the Resident Evil Retribution like movie. I remember I saw him, was like the first time I saw him there. Or he's better known as the Pyramid fucking Head. So I already did one Flesh Pound versus Jason and Flesh Pound versus Marvel's Venom from Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe. So let's get this thing started and let's begin. So obviously I already went through the Flesh Pound ways about, just in case you missed the first two videos. Pretty much he was made from the Patriarch, which was a mad scientist at that time from the Killing Floor series from Tripwire Interactive. Real popular, famous scene game. The real original reason I got into it was in 2010 of December, when I first heard about the first Christmas special they had, because I think it was 2009 when it came out, but it was a real older version in 2004, but that's before I was into PC game, but I'm not going to get into that. But I might do a part 2 of this video, just to make sure. I want to clear that out of the way. So pretty much, Flesh Pound, obviously, he was made with the evil mad scientist and everything, and obviously, he had a lot of anger and hate towards humans and shit, so when he became a zombie, you got these big giant meat rotator claws that slash people and destroy the living shit out of anything in his fucking path, literally, by a milestone. He's able to have super speed, and he has super strength and everything. And he has these big giant spikes in his eyes, so if he headbutts you, you're pretty much dead. He's almost like big giant sword daggers, thing that could kill you, literally. There's that. Or what else? Obviously another thing about the Flesh Pound, he's one of the second strongest besides the Scrake and the Brute. And of course the Patriarch himself in the games. Fucking crazy as shit, by the way. Other than that, another cool thing I like about the Flesh Pound, he's really fucking awesome. I love the interior design that he has. He can't kill you. The only weakness I think he has are bombs, and that's pretty much it. Because I know in the video game thing, if you're not into the Killing Floor thing, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But if you're a berserker, you're pretty much dead. But if you're any other thing, you pretty much can kill him. You have bombs if you're a demolition, a support specialist, and those perks of the Killing Floor game, you're good to go. And I already talked about superpowers and everything. It's like big giant meat rotator claws is one of his powers, and his other powers or weapons that he has is the spikes on his head that can kill you. He headbutts you hardcore enough. And and his speed is really hard. And he has a big giant plate in his chest that shows if it's yellow, he's calm and relaxed, but if he's red, he's raging. He can blast through cars, trucks, anything that's a solid object, he can break through it, especially doors and everything. When you're a support specialist, you try to weld the doors, it's very hard for him to almost easy for him to destroy the doors. But if you're a support specialist, it's almost hard for him. That's pretty much it there. So, speaking of his special attack and defense, I already got into speed. Everything else is pretty good. Especially physical special attack is good, and everything else is defense isn't that great. That's pretty much it. And special defense too. Superpowers I already talked about. His weapons abilities, his meat rotators, and his big giant spikes he has on his eyes and his head. That's pretty much it. Other than that, let's get into the Pyramid Head now, or Nemesis if you want to call him from Resident Evil, but it's not really Nemesis. So like I said, this is the first time I saw him was about 3-4 years ago when I saw the Resident Evil Retribution game. Not the game, but the movie. I wasn't really into Resident Evil in the game. I was okay, but I wasn't really a fanboy of it. Sorry for all the Resident Evil fans. I love you and Capcom and everything, but I'm not going to get into Capcom. A lot of them only care about fucking bullshit and money all the time. They really don't give a fuck about their fans. They already did that with Street Fighter and Mega Man with Capcom. I'm not going to get too much in their history. I think Metal Gear Solid might have owned them for a little bit. I think it might have been Konami if it wasn't Capcom, but it was one of those Japanese billionaire game companies. But back in the day, I know Resident Evil was huge. I wasn't really crazy about it. Plus, unfortunately, when I was still living with my family at that time, and I was kind of in a strict Christian household, so I couldn't really play bloody, violent video games like that, unfortunately. So I didn't really get a chance to experience Resident Evil because my parents were kind of against video games like that, so I was only able to play like E for Everyone or T for Teen games. The only kind of games that had blood I was able to play with it was like sports games, like boxing and like Tony Hawk Pro Skater when he fell on the floor. That was the only time I was able to play games that had blood in it. That's it. Or first-person shooter shit, which was really back in the day in the 90s and early 2000s wasn't a huge thing. I think until mid-late 2000s when Halo and Call of Duty started getting big in the mid-late 2000s. That's when it started becoming a huge thing with blood and everything. But I didn't really give a fuck about that shit. I still kind of don't. The only two, if I had to pick first-person shooter games, was the first one that I played with Bad Company and this one, Killing Floor. And a couple other ones. I guess Battlefield was fairly decent. It was okay, I guess. And what else was like decent? I guess Titanfall, I'm not sure about that one yet. I still gotta play that shit. What else? A lot of other first-person shooter games. Even the Tripwire thing with Rising Storm, I thought that one was pretty fucking good. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Mostly PC first-person shooters aren't too bad. With the ones, the console ones, like PlayStation 3, PS4, the Xbox One, or Xbox 360 shit, which is the current, the future gens of console gamings, I'm not really crazy about them. Once on PC, it's a lot more easy for me to maneuver for some reason. I don't know, it just is. But yeah, let's get into the Pyramid Head now. So I guess his origin, when I was looking on Wikipedia about his origin, he was more into Silent Hill games, which is another game I never really cared about at all, unfortunately. It's had a lot, once again, it's a lot of blood and guts, so I didn't really get a chance to experience that during my late 90s, early 2000s kids days. And the thing is that, with the Pyramid Head, or some people call him the Boogeyman, or Boogeyman, I don't know. But, I guess he's supposed to be like a figment of a person's imagination. I think his name was Alex Shepard or something like that, or the other guy's name, Leon. Not sure about the Leon for Resident Evil or Silent Hill, one of them. But yeah, I think it sort of had like a Half-Life and Cry of Fear kind of element to it. If any people don't know what Cry of Fear is, really scary, fucked up game. I seen it a couple times. I almost shit in my pants. I'm not fucking lying either. Literally, I was that close to fucking shit in my pants. Because that's how fucking scary as hell that fucking game was. And this is another reason I was kind of a bitch about that. When it comes to video game, like, scary shit, it's kind of scary a little bit. When it's like movie scary in theaters, it's not too scary. I really don't care too much because it's like a jump tactic in your face. When you least expect it, boom! You know, like, and it scares the fuck out of you, but it doesn't really, not too much at the same time. Let's get to Pyramid Head and his origin. So he's like a figment of these people's imaginations of Silent Hill. And I was reading on Wikipedia about it. His main weapons I'm going to get to later, but I'm not going to talk about it now. His origins is like the main characters is his sexual depression or suppression. It has to do with that. Another reason why the Pyramid Head is existent is because he was the executioner for that town. And he was the reason that his wife Maria or Stacy died or something like that, somewhere around along those lines. It was that, and that's how the Pyramid Head was created through his imagination. And I think they said, like, one of the writers, when I was looking on Wikipedia, one of the directors, producers of the game, or the game developer, said that he was based off of a god or something, or a goddess or something like that, or like God of War or something like that from an Egyptian god, or like something off of 300, I think, for how Xerxes was made. Something like that. He said something along those lines of that. You can read the Wikipedia thing down below. I'll put the link down there if you want to check more about Pyramid Head and shit. Another reason why he's really super strong and like the origins of him is a little dark and crazy because not only was he the executioner of the fucking town, but I think he was like a leader of a cult or some reason to tell other things to go kill and everything. And he like raped two monsters for some reason. It's fucking weird. I don't get that. So any Silent Hill, Resident Evil fans, you're fanboys or fangirls of that thing, you may, if you can explain to me more why he raped those two monsters. I don't fucking know why, but because I never played the games. But I'm not saying it's a shitty game because I never played it, so I can't say if it was a badass epic game or if it was a good game or not because I've never played it myself. But other than that, that's pretty much it for that part, for the origins thing. Let's keep it moving with attacks and special attacks, defense and all that. Obviously, his physical attacks are going to be better than his mental attacks. He doesn't have any mental attacks at all. He never talks ever either. He only grunts and moans like, ooh, ooh, like that. He never talks or everything. Nothing like that. And his face is always hidden. He always has no face or nothing. Kind of like Slender Man a little bit. The only difference is I think Pyramid Head was sliced the bejesus out of Slender Man. If those two fought, Slender Man would have stand a chance. He'd be dead if he fought the Pyramid Head. That's all I'm saying. Plus he's been around like 3-4 years longer, way longer than that. Maybe 10-20 years longer than. Well, Slender Man's only been, 4, 3, 5 something years at the most? I don't know. But yeah, I like the Slender Man thing. That shit's funny as fuck. But that's for another thing. That's for like creepypastas like that. Jet the Killer, the Crooked Man shit. I'm not really crazy about the creepypastas, but I know about it. I'm mostly a Nintendo freak. I might talk about that a little bit more. when it comes to like conspiracy theory shit. Not alternative media stuff, but other things. I'm a very well-rounded person when it comes to like talking about 5 or 7 different other medias, you know? That's what makes my channel probably a little bit more better and significantly different than others. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm the shit and I'm the best thing in the world. I'm just saying. But other than that, with the Pyramid Head, he's huge as fuck, you know? His special attack, he has a giant sword or axe, and sometimes he uses a spear. He does use an axe or a sword once in a while. So there's that. And he has a giant head, so I guess he could headbutt somebody to death with that big giant steel pillar. Huge as fuck. He's tall as shit. He's bigger than fucking Shaq and the Moreno Magic Johnson, which I'm not going to get into because I know there was like a big giant rant on that one guy, Daniel Sterling, which I'm actually going to do a rant on. Probably do it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, on him being racist towards black people and shit. I'm going to do that rant soon, but not right now. If not today, I'll probably do it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, tomorrow, the day after. I don't know. Most likely it's probably going to be in a weekend on Friday when I do that rant on him. That's for another video. But other than that, the thing is about let's see what I was talking about. The Pyramid Head, yeah. He has that as his weapons. I guess another thing about him is that whenever he gets shot by bullets or anything like that, or somebody tries to kill or destroy him, he'll keep on moving, just like I said with Freddy versus Jason type of thing. Or no, Jason versus the Flesh Pound, he keeps moving, so nothing can't really hurt him at all. He's pretty much almost a god. Nothing can hurt him, period. A demon god, that's what he is. And as far as weapons and superpowers, I guess, once again, super strength comes into the equation. That's the only thing I can give him. What else? He has this big giant sword blade. He could, like, throw it back and forth, and then it's like a boomerang comes back to him. Or sometimes he'll take it out of the wall if it doesn't come back to him. So I guess he has a small bit of psychic powers, if you want to call it that. So I guess his spear, his axe, and his sword are the only 3 things that are his powers, pretty much. Or his weapons. He doesn't have no powers, I don't think. Maybe. To my extent. Not to my knowledge, he doesn't have superpowers. But weapon-wise, he does. And let's get to the final thing. I know this wasn't past 20 minutes, but I'm just putting it out there now. But yeah, the Flesh Pound versus this thing, unfortunately, I'm going to have to get the victory. As far as popularity game-wise, they probably go tie, even though Silent Hill's been around way longer than Killing Floor has been. They're both in the video game genre, except with Silent Hill, it's become a little bit of a comic book, and it's become of a movie, too, with Silent Hill. I think it came out in 2012 with the 3D Silent Hill movie that came out. It was a comic book adaptation, a movie adaptation, and of course, video game adaptation. The thing with Killing Floor, it's only been a video game adaptation. It hasn't had no comic book, no TV series, no internet series, no what else? No anime series. It hasn't had no movie series, unfortunately. Which I really hope one day Tripwire, they make a movie out of Killing Floor and not 3D animation. I want to see that shit as a live action thing. As a real actual life movie kind of live action. It'll have some CGI in it at least, but not too much, you know? So Tripwire, if any person that's an employee over there, an executive, if you're watching this video, which I highly doubt you are, if you're watching it, you got to make a live action movie out of it. Please do. I know you're an indie game, but you're awesome as hell. I love your shit. Like how The Ball and Rising Storm, you made those 2 games. And I think Portal, I think that was from Valve and people that made Team Fortress 2. I think they're the ones that made that. I don't know. I'm not too up on my knowledge on that shit. But yeah, physical-wise, pretty much that, and popularity-wise, unfortunately, the Pyramid Head pretty much wins. He pretty much cuts the Flesh Pound in half. He's 10, 15, 20 feet taller than the fucking Flesh Pound. So compare that to the Flesh Pound, what, he's like 6, 7, 8 feet at the most. Compared to the Pyramid Head, physically, unfortunately, the Flesh Pound's going to get his ass kicked. And those meat rotators aren't going to do shit, literally, to him. It might scrape him a little bit here and there, but he can pretty much flick him with a sword. He doesn't have to lift a finger. Pretty much the Pyramid Head wins this thing, unfortunately. Because I never really played too much of Silent Hill or Resident Evil that much, but from what I heard, it's a pretty fucking good-ass game. That's all I heard. But yeah, I gotta give the victory, unfortunately, to Pyramid Head. As much as I don't want to, I'll give it to him anyways. And the Flesh Pound, you tried your best, buddy, but it wasn't good enough. Physical-wise, he's got the Flesh Pound beat by a landslide, pretty much. That's it. That's all I had to say about him. And that's all I had to say about this video. So hopefully this was under 20 minutes. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. I wasted a lot of your time. But like I do say, is what it is. 818. See you when I see you guys. Have a good day. Have a good night. Wherever you're at around the world. Don't drink, smoke weed at the same time. Don't do anything reckless. See you soon. See you around. Peace out, ladies. Goodbye. And I'll see you guys another time. And 2 other mini updates. I'm going to be doing top 10 Pokemon things again. Top 10 more video game babes. I'll try to start doing that. Top 10 hardest games in the world. I'm going to be doing that maybe in the summer. Not May, maybe June. And another small update I wanted to give you guys is that I might actually be going out to Cali this summer, so any people see me in Cali in these shades and this nice hat, you know who I am, you know? You could come up to me. I'm a real cool person in IRL or real life. I'm not as crazy as I am on YouTube, so you don't gotta worry about me cussing a shitstorm, alright? But yeah, that's all I had to say there, so I might go out to Cali, we'll see what happens, and this year or next year, we'll see what happens, 2015 maybe. And I'm still going to be doing the X-Men Days of Futures Past movie review, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And I might do Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie review, and we'll see what happens there. Like I said, I might just see it just because of Paul Giamatti and Jimmy Fox being there, because I don't care too much for Andrew Garfield. And yeah, alright, take care people, late, goodbye, and you stay safe everybody, alright? Deuces, I'm out, and yeah, take it easy.